All right, so what we're doing today is we are going to be solving literal equations. What this means is that there is more than one variable, but we are only solving for one, which is kind of fun. All right, so we're still doing the 1, 2-step, multi-step equations. It's exactly the same as what we've been doing, but now we're solving a literal equation. So what does literally actually mean? Literally could be used to describe the picture of the mouse on the mouse. Or, I literally got your back, bro, could mean I possess your spine. That's rather concerning. Please don't possess other people's spine. So the word literally means actually or without exaggeration. And in math, it's kind of similar. We're just, what are you actually doing? What, without exaggeration or without solving or simplifying, what is this equation actually doing? And this is one of the most applicable things that we learn all year is how to solve literal equations. This is one of those things that you can use time and time again and just solve. It's quite great. So a literal equation is an equation that contains more than one variable. And when you solve a literal equation, you are rearranging the equation to isolate or get alone or only have one of them, a variable. And it specifically tells you which variable to solve for. So right here it says solve for w. So in this first one, we already know how to solve for w. It's 3 equals 2w. It's 2 times w. To undo times, we divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 2, and we would get w equals 3 over 2. If you notice on this other one, it's very similar, but instead of being multiplied by a number, it's being multiplied by L. So I'm going to divide by the letter I don't want, so that it nicely cancels out, just like this 2 canceled out over here. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So now w is all alone. We have w equals capital A over lowercase l. And that's okay. If we ever were given numbers to plug in for those, we could easily solve for w now. All right, hopefully you're feeling okay. Let's go ahead and move on to this next problem. All right, so what if we wanted to solve for x? So here's x. And there's x. So let's solve the one on the left first, and then we'll solve the one on the right. So the one on the left, the first thing we want to do is get rid of this plus 5. The way we undo addition is we use subtraction or inverse operation there. And whatever we do to one side, we need to do to the other. So then we have 2x equals, and 11 minus 5 is 6. Then from here, I'm going to want to divide by the number next to my x, which is 2, which then that goes to 1. And I'm left with x equals, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So that was beautiful, what we just did. So now let's go ahead and try this step. So the first thing we did over here is we subtracted. So let's go ahead and do that over here. Now the thing that's in place of the 5 in this equation is a b. So let's go ahead and subtract b from both sides. Okay, so now I'm left with ax, because this went to 0, b minus b is 0. Equals, now I don't know what c minus b is, so I'm just going to write c minus b. That's a number. I don't know what it is, but it'd be a number. Just like how we did 11 minus 5 is 6, c minus b will be an unknown number. Okay, then here we divided. So I want to do the same thing. I want to divide what is not x. So I want to divide by a. So it goes away and I'm left with 1x. So I divide both sides by a. So my final solution is x equals c minus b all over a, which is exactly what we did on the left. But now we have all letters. All right, let's go ahead, and I think that we have one more together, and then you guys have a couple of examples that I want you to do on your own. All right? Okay, so right here we are going to solve for h. And notice on both sides we've got different things going on. So here we would divide both sides by 2, because this is 2 times h. And the 2's would cancel out and we'd be left with h equals, and 10 divided by 2 is not 10, it's 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. All right, let's do the same thing over here. We're going to divide both sides by what is not h, which in this case is g. And we have h equals m over g. We just divided on both sides. All right, what I want you guys to try and do now is on this one, you're going to be solving for different letters for each section. So for here, you're going to solve for x, and then you're going to solve for a, and you're using this equation right here. Okay, right here, still using the same equation. You're going to solve for y, and then you're going to solve for b. Then right here, notice that the equation changes, but you're still solving for x. the one we're supposed to do next. So we will join back together on this one. Okay, thanks guys so much.